Here with LD on the final day of TI4. Usually cast in the finals, different this time. What do you, well, first, let's, how is the event going for you?
It's going great. It's got to be the biggest and best TI, I guess, in that sense. You know, huge crowd, huge stadium, the secret shop's bigger and better than ever. Chinese teams are dominating. I think in terms of like diversity of the teams at the finals, maybe not the best, but it's been excellent Dota. So, I mean, as always, TI is awesome.
Mm-hmm. And will you have a prediction? You got a prediction for me?
I'm going to do it the Team Liquid way, where you do the heart-head thing. I'm going to say head newbie 3-2, but heart Fiji Gaming 3-2.
Okay. And you think so you think the finals is going to go 5 games? It's going to be exciting, all that kind of stuff?
It should. I mean, I think these two teams are actually very easily matched. I cast both of them quite a bit for various online Chinese tournaments, and Fiji Gaming looked like by far the worst. Like IG coming into the tournament, IG, Newbie, and DK, those were the 3 top teams. LGD looked like a distant 5th, and Fiji Gaming was just losing all the big matches to them for like a month, and then they show up at TI and they're all of a sudden kicking everyone's ass. So.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I mean, there were a lot of surprises. I didn't think anyone would have predicted this final, but I think that's what this TI is all about. It's kind of, you know, pressure situation. People perform differently, I guess.
Yeah, some people rise to the occasion. I think we saw some teams were more prepared than others. The format was kind of random with the BO1, so it got a little chaotic. You saw some teams that maybe wouldn't do as well in a longer extended format have better than expected performances. Teams like Newbie that obviously are fantastic teams, and you know they won 5 BO3s in a row to get to the grand finals. Almost didn't even make it here, so it was a little random in that sense, I guess.
Let's talk about you a little bit.
Sure.
Unfortunately, not casting the finals. Do you have thoughts on that?
Well, I got benched.
You got benched, but you know, you were the 2-time defending champ.
I don't know, man. Toby delivered the knockout punch. I mean, Valve doesn't really they don't really share much insight into their decision making. Like TI2, they would tell us each day what we were casting, so we would all have to show up at the very start of the day. And I don't know if you went to TI2, I can't remember.
I didn't go.
But the days were really long. They're like 14-hour days. So the first day, Toby showed up, cast the last games, and then they had him scheduled to cast the first games the next day. So he had like 4 hours of sleep. But yeah, basically, like they didn't tell you what you're casting until the very end. And at TI3, they did give us a schedule, or at least they told us who was going to be doing the finals kind of up front, because there was something that a lot of the casters, they just want to know what they're casting more than anything. Otherwise, you're just like, okay, like when's my next gig? When am I like done for the tournament? I can just relax, hang out with my friends. So this year they released the group stage schedule. I don't know if they use that to evaluate casters or not, but you know, whatever their decision-making process is, they went with Toby and Lumi. And I mean, frankly, I think Toby's been doing a fantastic job. So you know, I certainly can't fault them for that.
And you've now been known for one of the some of the best catchphrases in Dota 2.
More than I would like sometimes. But
what do you mean more than you would like?
The whole WoW thing gets a little old.
The WoW thing, okay. I wasn't really talking about the WoW thing, but sure, we can talk about the WoW thing.
Everyone's always talking about the WoW thing.
Do you regret making the noise?
Okay, so what you have to understand about the WoW thing was it was my first live event ever. I had never cast a live event, and I'd been casting not just Dota, but casting period for like 6 months.
And which event was that from?
That was a TI2.
Okay.
The over-exaggeration clip? Yeah. So
that's a really old clip then. I thought it was more recent, but
No, it was like that's what kills me. It's people like, oh, LG has no idea. You get so overhyped about everything. It's like, I did get overhyped. It wasn't that exciting, but it was that exciting for me at the event. That was my first live event ever, like my first experience in front of a crowd. I was like, I wouldn't say I was shaking, but you know, like the mental equivalent. I was just trembling with excitement the whole event, and you know, I think I had some really great moments because of that, and some not so great moments.
Come on, it
was entertaining. I know people enjoy it, but it annoys me when people use that as like a, you know, a judgment of my casting now. But not to say that I don't make mistakes.
All the players do it. Did you know that?
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry.
Fog just comes up to me. He's like, wow. And I'm like, shut up, dude. I'm going to strangle you.
And the Siler to Fall Liquid are doing it. That's another one that's...
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I did a pretty good job of capturing that.
That's one of the most memorable moments at TI.
I feel good about that one.
Okay.
The other one that I get a lot of shit for is the refraction.
Which
from
one?
MLG Columbus.
Oh, okay.
And it's one of those things where it's like, it's very simple to activate refraction, right? But I just got really excited because of the timing of it. Like, refraction came off cooldown, like, as the killing blow was, like, this close to hitting him. But, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I get a little hype. Maybe too hype.
And you say jams it in.
I like NBA Jam.
I love that one. I like that one. No, I like that one.
Do you think I need to?
No. I think you don't have to use it every game, but I like that you use it. Because I like the NBA Jam announcer. He's amazing.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I use like Boom Shakalaka a lot.
Boom Shakalaka, that's right.
He's heating up. He's on fire.
Yeah.
You know, I can't do the voice that well.
Bat Rider ganks, then you can say he's on fire.
I'm not as clever as you though, so.
Well, I want you to, when an Ursa kills a Bat Rider, you need to say only you can prevent forest fires. That's the one I want to hear.
How much time do you spend coming up with this stuff, by the way?
But no one has done it yet. Ursa.
I mean, if it occurs to me in the moment, can
Ursa,
you just text me like lines when you're like, okay, LD, coming up, when this happens, you're gonna say this. Like, I need a teleprompter.
Ursa doesn't kill Bat Rider that often, and Liquid played Ursa and killed a Bat Rider once, and I was like, come on, LD, do it. And you didn't. But now you know.
One of my many failings in life.
Yeah, now you know, and knowing about forest fire awareness is very important to preserve our nature.
Yeah, sounds good.
So you guys moved to a new house?
We did.
You guys ran a successful tournament at that house?
I think so.
And so tell us what's like. What are you guys doing?
Well, it was really an experiment, I guess you would say. One of the things I found when I come to visit Valve is everything's an experiment to them. Like, TI was an experiment when they first ran it, a very expensive experiment by our standards, but still an experiment. And for us, our event was kind of the same way. It's like, we want to run our first live event. We don't have the resources to run a big live event with a public audience. Like, it's just not possible for us to rent out a venue. We don't have a huge production team, so we'd have to hire outside people. Then the costs get expensive. Still, we don't have a ton of sponsors, so we wanted to do a cool event, but we wanted to do something within our bounds. So, like, kind of the natural growth was, okay, why don't we do an event here? We have all our equipment already set up. We'll have to move some stuff around. We actually spent quite a bit of time setting the house up for the event, but it was just, like, to me, like, kind of the right amount to jump, where we didn't go too far and overshoot what we're capable of. We had some tech issues with like Dota TV audio and whatever, but I think overall the event was pretty successful, and it seemed like people enjoyed it. So. Yeah,
the casual environment, I'm sure the players really liked it.
I will say we treated the players very well, and that was like one of the most important things to us, was we wanted the players, even if like say the viewing experience isn't the best, obviously we want it to be, but we wanted to make sure the players enjoyed the event, wanted to be there, and wanted to come back, because that's how you get those more candid moments if they're happy. And we got some. I think we can do a lot better job of getting more next time, but yeah, they really like the food. That was the one thing I heard is you guys are just like Valve, because we catered all the meals at the house. So we live in a gated community, so we didn't want like
a gated community.
It's not as wealthy as you think, but
wow.
Okay. Our rent is not that much. It's like less than $3,000 split 6 ways, so it's pretty.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's less than I was paying to live on my own in a small apartment in Philly. So, but yeah, so we catered all the meals, because we tried to get some different types of food, because we had Asian players there and the Chinese players. I've heard from talking to Winter, who's good friends with Mushi, and some of the other DK guys, that some of them really like Western food, others like just only want to eat Chinese food. So we tried to accommodate everyone as much as possible. It sounds like a small thing, but food is it's the key to making people happy.
And playing well, then, I guess.
Yes.
Summit 2, when's that happening?
This winter. Yeah, I mean, I guess we haven't made an official announcement yet, but we were very happy with how the event went. Financially, it was, we're not driving Ferraris yet, but it was successful, and we think we can do even better job next time. So,
what's it going to be called?
We're not very creative. Maybe the Summit 2. Can we do that?
Okay.
Do we have your blessing for that?
I think you should make it just, instead of calling it the Summit 2, you should call it the Summit, but with 2 I's. So like the Summit. And it'll be like a 2.
Almost as like with the other T-shirt we have, where it's like the Summit.
Yeah.
Beyond the Summit.
Yeah. So 2 I's.
Okay.
The Summit, 2 I's.
But what about like when it gets to be like do we just do Roman numerals in there after a certain point, or we just keep on adding I's?
I think we decide how to name the third one after the second one. Just YOLO.
Are you gonna charge us consulting fees for
I'll get you a good name on the it's like, it'll be the Summit, but like instead of the E on the, it's a 3.
Okay. I actually like this from a design perspective.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
The Summit with 2 eyes.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
with you. Let's do it, Ken.
Yeah, I think that it fits your fits the style better.
Okay.
Don't go with the numbers. That's boring.
Can we bring you in next time?
Sure, man.
Hang out?
I can hang out. Yeah, you bring me in. I will make it amazing.
Fee?
What's my fee?
Yeah.
I can't disclose that on camera right now. We can negotiate afterwards.
Oh man.
I need at least 3 or 4 churros.
I don't know if I. That's almost as good as Blitz. Blitz is easy. You just got to buy him dinner or something, and he's good. I remember when he started casting with us, like he was like, "Man, I didn't think you guys were gonna pay me. Like I thought you'd buy me a meal or something, and I'd be really grateful for that. And like you gave me money." It's like
He's messing with you. Come on, he gave you.
no, I don't think he did actually.
Well, maybe the first time, but.
That's just how Will is, I guess.
Okay. What are you guys still busy all the time casting at weird hours?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the one kind of downside to the way that we operate, which is we live in LA, but we cast a lot of Asian Dota, even European Dota, is we don't really have social lives outside of the house too much. Ben has a girlfriend, but he's not casting all the time, so he has a little more of like a consistent schedule, I guess you could say. But everyone else at the house just, we're at the mercies of Dota, but it's not in a bad way. I mean, I really enjoy it. I'm terrible at maintaining a sleep schedule anyway, but yeah, it's a little crazy. Like we'll go to, I think I'll tell you my worst experience. Well, not worst, but my like most maniacal schedule I ever had. So I was back before I moved out to LA, and I was casting the Asia, and that was the year when Toby went to work at the Asia Live. So he wasn't doing Starladder that season. So we decided that, hey, we should cover Starladder and the Asia, but Gods was in Australia, and he couldn't cast from Australia at all. He couldn't stream. So I was going to stream both. I was like, it'll be fine. So I do the Asia, and of course, Southeast Asian Dota always has terrible server delays and, I don't know, ping issues, connection issues, PC issues. It's the region in general just...
Miracle.
Yeah. This was before Miracle. This was like two years ago.
Okay.
So I cast that, and then right after that, Starladder starts. So I get through that. And it's at this point I've been awake for, I want to say like 20 hours. I've been casting for at least 12 to 16 of them.
That's insane.
And then I have like 3 hours to take a nap. So I take a nap, I wake up and I do the Asia, and then I'm just, it ends a bit earlier the next day. I'm like, okay, I've got 3 hours until Starladder. I'm going to nap for that.
God.
I'm going to nap for that. And my body just couldn't take it. I just slept through Starladder. Fortunately, Shiva was casting anyway, so there was still a stream available, but it was... Yeah, that was like when we were very small, so it's just me and Gods really. But now we've got more casters on staff, and we've got a bigger pool of people who work with us. Coddle Guy, Mott, What Is Hip, Base Kip, Blaze Sanders. Shout out to all of them, and more people who can come and co-cast. So.
What do you do when you're not playing Dota or casting Dota? You get to play often? No.
Not as much as I would like. When I started casting, I was playing Dota like 10, 12 hours a day. Well, maybe not quite that much, but on the weekends, I'd definitely play for 10 hours.
You'd fiend.
Yeah, I'd fiend. And I've been playing Dota for like 8, 9 years, but I will say, not just because of casting. Casting isn't actually that big of a time commitment. Even when we're busy, I would say it's never more than like 30 or 40 hours a week per person. It is more exhausting than, or I guess mentally draining than some other types of work. But really the thing is like we're running a business, right? And we're a very small operation. So it's not like I don't really have that much time to play. And part of it's that I'm a bit of a control freak, I guess you could say. Like I try and do as much as possible myself, but we have some really good people with us now, and
we're delegate. Delegate, LD.
We had a team meeting. We're going to delegate better. So I want to get back to playing more, and I think it's probably the area where I feel like I wouldn't say I've fallen off, but just I could grow the most as a caster. Just playing more pubs, maybe trying to play some amateur tournaments, and I think it just helps make you cast. It helps you cast better.
What's your MMR? Your solo MMR. This is what's important. This is what people want to know.
When I got it, it was 5,000.
5,000 is really good, dude.
And then
you dropped.
Then I dropped a lot.
A lot? What's a lot?
Like 400.
You're down to
like 4,600.
Yeah, that's still pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I had gotten my MMR when I was playing like all the time, it'd probably be like mid 5Ks. But I mean, MMR is only a number anyway. Like you have like players who have who are great pro players who have like not even 5K MMR. You know MMY is not even 5K?
Well, that guy sucks though.
I mean, part of it's he messes around in pubs and doesn't really pub seriously, but. And like if you grind it here, you're really good at. That doesn't mean like you're good at all. You know, the bigger
Well,
picture.
I mean, like I imagine if he wanted to just, I don't know, mid Storm Spirit over and over again, he'd probably crush it and get higher than 5K.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Is he messes around in pubs, but MMR is only a number.
It's all in your head.
Yeah.
And what do you do for fun other than Dota? Tell us what David Gorman.
I don't know.
The real David Gorman.
We have 3 cats. I play with the cats a lot. They're like my stress relief, I guess you could say.
Okay.
I've been trying to go to the gym. So I was very skinny when I was growing up, and after college, metabolism slows down, and eating habits didn't improve along with that. Didn't exercise. I've had a in and out relationship with the gym, but I've actually been going consistently since I got here, so I'm trying to get back to lifting regularly. Outside of that, not too much. I'm actually a pretty boring person, I guess.
Nothing at all. What do you guys do for together? You guys go out to eat?
We play board games. We are very close at the house. We have family dinner, so K-pop cooks a lot, and he'll make dinner like 5 nights a week. And
wow, okay.
Yeah.
K-pop.
Normally so there's one time of the day where I wouldn't say everyone's awake, but generally most of us are awake. It's like around 7, 8 p.m. because
7, 8 p.m. everyone's awake. Okay.
Yeah, because the day shift hasn't gone to bed yet, right? And then the night shift is just waking up, so that's like breakfast for them. But we actually are on shifts when we're really busy. We'll have some people doing either NA Dota or European Dota, and we'll have other people doing Asian Dota. So
right now, a lot of people talk about there's too many games.
Yeah.
But isn't that kind of good for you guys? You guys can cast all the time, or would you rather there be less?
I don't know. I think the whole the oversaturation thing is quite overblown, because end of the day, more choices create competition, and people, maybe one event suffers, but if your event's the one that people want to watch, then you got to improve your product. So I don't view that as a problem. I think it all will kind of sort itself out naturally. It sucks when MLG cancels their event. I don't know if oversaturation was the reason, but it seemed like that was at least a factor. Too many events, too close together. Part of that was just the shadow that TI casts, where Valve basically changed the dates from last year. It was a month earlier than expected, and it had this big ripple effect on the scene. But I don't know. I don't think there's such a thing as too much Dota, because you have to look at it this way as well, that the more tournaments there are, the more chance there is for a lot of the amateur teams to play. No matter how much Fnatic, Na'Vi, Vici, etc. want to play, there's a finite amount of tournaments they can physically compete in. So more events means other teams get more of a shot, and that's good for the growth of the scene.
Okay. TI5, new team wins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A new team will win.
Yeah, just like a new team won this year. New team is gonna win this year, could win this year. Newbie, I guess. They're not really new in the sense that all their players played on previous teams, but they just were formed.
Yeah, Newbie's an interesting team to me, because it's basically just Tong Fu from last year, and all they did was they added Xiao 8, which doesn't sound like a lot, but they seem to respect him.
The difference is between 5th and 6th and possibly 1st. So
yes, the results are different, but I mean, I think they're a fantastic team. I'm a little surprised at some other teams didn't perform better. I thought DK would have a better run. I thought EG maybe don't make it to the grand finals, but at least put up a better fight. The way they lost was just getting completely crushed and losing 2 games in 50 minutes. I mean, they knew they made mistakes and were disappointed, I guess. But
they're young, man. They're gonna stay together.
Yeah, Newbie's not super old. I think Xiao 8's probably the oldest player on the team, but Hao and Mu maybe still have a few years left. But you look at some of the other Chinese teams, like DK, Lenim, Burning probably retiring.
That's so sad.
YYF's getting old. QQQ retired a year or 2 ago, and now he's a coach. I think RTK, if he wins TI, maybe he retires.
Do you think this is the end of IG as we know it?
Yeah, I'd be surprised.
YYF, Faith, Ferrari, kind of like core.
I feel like maybe just YYF retires. I'm not sure. I had this debate with Gods, because he's like, why would you retire now? There's more money than ever. There's more prize money, and it's like a bad time to retire financially, right? Because these players are already established. They already have a pretty good shot at just qualifying for TI. But I mean, the way that I look at it is, you just get old, man. You want to go have a life, maybe settle down, meet somebody. do you not live on the gamer schedule? I mean, I know for some people don't mind it at all. Like, you know, I'm 28 and I'm kind of on the gamer schedule even now, but.
Dude, people are jealous of your life, man. Casting Dota all the time. Get to go to these cool events.
I really love what I do. I don't know.
The dream.
Yeah, I don't know if it's quite as glamorous as what people make it out to be. Like,
I mean, it's obviously a lot of hard work. People think it's just like easy.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I've had regular day jobs, and I definitely prefer this. But
yeah, but I mean, it's like you don't really know how grindy it is until you probably cast 8-hour days for like 3 weeks in a row, and you're just like, oh, this is what it's like.
Yeah, I mean, when I started, it was really grinding casting. I was explaining the like 20 hours in a row practically thing. But now it's more like it's grinding, but it's not just casting. It's like we're trying to find sponsors, organize our own events, secure coverage for other events, scout new casting talent, potentially grow the business. And
scout new casting talent. How does someone go about becoming a recognized, well-known caster?
Cast games and hope that someone tunes in and notices you.
That's even harder than the player, dude.
I mean, there's stuff. Yeah, I think it is, because if you're a player, all you have to do to get exposure is, well, I mean, I make it sound easy, but like there's a very simple formula, right? It's, you know, get on a team and win shit, and if you win enough stuff, you'll get the exposure and you'll become known. Whereas with a caster, it's like, that's the thing that's weird with casting. I mean, it goes back to like, how do you choose who casts the grand finals, right? I guess popularity is the best way to do it, but there's no real, like, great way to sort out like who's best. Like, how do you measure that for a caster? Like, popularity is one way, you know, excitement is another, game knowledge, but like some people know a lot of stuff about certain areas of the game, not about others. It's not, I mean, I think the community does an okay job of kind of figuring out who they like in general, but it's a lot tougher with casters than with players to like decide who's worthy. So I think that's the tough thing for an up-and-coming casters. You know, it's not like you can just go win a casting tournament and now you get your shot. Yeah. It's a little more complicated, I guess.
And do you still have non-Dota friends?
Yeah, I've got non-Dota friends.
What do they think about what you do, and where are they?
Well, I mean, I was a gamer growing up, right? So most of them think it's really awesome. They're gamers as well, and they're like, man, you know, you get to play video games for a living. I'm like, it's not quite playing video games, but no, I mean, most of them understand that it's more like broadcasting and less about the game itself in terms of the work you're doing, I guess. But some of my friends from college, I would say college was the main place where I made a lot of friends that don't really play games and aren't into them that much, but you know, they all think it's cool. My friend's like, I have no idea what you're talking about, but it sounds awesome. I haven't talked to him in a while. Shout out to Bora, by the way, if you're listening.
And your parents and your family, do they watch your casts at all?
I think so. My dad was texting me, asking me like, "Oh, where can I watch the finals?"
He was like, "Wow."
I was like, "Dad, I'm not casting the finals this year." No, yeah, he just wanted to watch the tournament, and my mom tries to seek out our stuff, and you know, they're like, "Oh, you're so good on camera, you're so great." I'm like, "Shut up, I'm awful." Like, you know, like whenever your parents compliment you, it's just like hollow compliments.
Like my mom was asking how to buy my autographs. I'm like, you don't even have like a computer that can like run Dota.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. My sister's not really into it. Like, they're like, oh, it's...
Do they understand Dota at all?
No, I don't think so, but...
They just hear your voice and they're just like, he's talking about something.
My little
sounds exciting.
Allie was like, you're a celebrity, right? And I'm like, nah, I don't think so. She's like, no, you don't understand. I went to have a family dinner at my boyfriend's house, and his mom said, oh yeah, like his brother's gonna be down in a minute. He's upstairs, you know, finishing up a game. And she's like, oh, what game? Oh, it's Dota. And then when he comes down, it comes up in conversation like, oh yeah, my brother casts Dota. She's like, who's your brother? My brother's LD. I'm a huge LD fan. So
oh, that's cool.
That was the only time she cared, because like, you know, her friend's little brother was like, you know, because I was like a celebrity in her friend's brother's eyes. So, you know, I think Allie thinks it's cool in that sense.
That's a pretty good. That's a pretty good story. That's a little luck. It's just like, oh, your brother's a caster? Like, what's his name? He's like, oh, it's LD. Oh, yeah, he's the guy that casted TI finals 2 years in a row.
Apparently, I'm really big in Brazil, so huge shout out to...
Brazil?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I'm not sure what I've done to earn it, but thank you guys. I think in general, I have a bit more appeal to like the non traditional Western regions, I guess. Like, partially it's because of what we cast, right? We cast a lot of Southeast Asian Dota, we cast a lot of Chinese Dota, we've cast some South American teams, and I think in general we like. if you go back and look at the games, I've cast a decent number of amateur teams like over, even the past couple of months. I mean, maybe not like the few months leading up to TI, but you go back like 4 or 5 months. I was doing a lot of it, and I think some people really appreciate that. They get to see like one of their favorite casters casting the less established teams, I guess.
Cool. Okay. All right, we've reached that magical time where we need to do shout-outs. We're not cutting you off, man. The finals are going on. We're missing the finals.
I know. It's okay. Vici Gimme got this, I believe. Shout out to my family. I love you guys. Shout out to you for the great interviews. I watched a lot of them.
Thank you.
Does that lower your fee?
Huh?
Does that lower your fee?
What do you mean?
Shout out.
No, it's great.
Let's see who else. Shout out to Gods, of course, and the rest of the BTS guys. K-pop.
Where's the Enchantress cosplay, dude?
I don't fucking know, dude. Like, seriously, he just needs to do it. I told him this like 6 months ago. He's like, oh, I don't have the costume. Like, I have the wig, but that's it. I'm like, I don't care, dude.
God's impression?
He's just like, he's like, he's a procrastinator. If he doesn't want to do something, he just like tries to dodge it and like he tries to act all like chill, like it's not a big deal. Like, you're getting too upset, LD. It's fine. And it's like, it's been 9 months. Do the fucking cosplay already. He can't live up to the hype now, no matter what he does.
Yeah, it's too bad.
The only reason.
No, do you know what I think you guys should do for Summit 2? Because we know it's gonna probably be that's gonna be one of the questions if he's doing it at the Summit 2. You guys need to bring an actual deer into the house.
No.
That would totally.
Dude, deer will poop wherever,
Well, the sacrifices you have to make for the Enchantress cosplay.
A deer, Ken.
I mean, in Enchantress cosplay, the sacrifices you have to make.
Why does my house have to be sacrificed? Why can't it be his house?
I mean, you guys made that promise. He's got to do it.
He made that promise. I didn't make that promise.
Well, I don't even remember how it happened.
Okay, so he made a bet with Toby at TI4 that an Asian team would win, or maybe it was a Chinese team. And, it's Navi Alliance Grand Final. So I originally thought...
Should have made it for this year.
Yeah.
You know what? He should make a bet with Toby about Vici winning, and then if he wins the bet, he doesn't have to do the cosplay anymore.
Well, I guess Toby's just better than Gods. A better.
Okay, continue with the shout-outs.
Yeah, so shout out to Gods for breaking his promises. He's very good at that. But if he's gonna do the cosplay, or I'm just not gonna talk to him for a while.
Okay.
Of course, the rest of the people at the house, Merlini, K-pop, Sayori, Roland. Roland's leaving us. He's our intern. He came from Malaysia, came to stay with us for a while, but it's
a very distinguished name for an intern.
Everyone loves Roland. I don't know, like he's just the most chill, awesome guy you'll ever meet, and I'm gonna be really sad when he leaves.
Where's he going?
He's going back to college, actually. So I think he goes home for a little while to Malaysia and then goes to the UK for his final year of school.
Cool.
But I'm kind of a intense person, and K-pop is pretty intense as well, and Roland just is like adds that like calm element to the house. So
he's got a cool name for someone that's an intern.
Right? I'm just a David. You're Ken.
Yeah, Roland. Damn.
It reminds me of what's the book? The Gunslinger. The main character, Roland something. Roland Chen. Deschan. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Anyway, shout outs. I think that's pretty much it. Shout out to everyone who supports Dota 2, the community. You guys have been awesome, and hope you continue to support TI and any events we run in the future.
Call out.
Well, Gods is obvious, but anyone else I can call out?
Lumi already called out Gods for the cosplay, so you got to do someone else.
Okay.
Do you have any haters? Do you guys get any haters?
Yeah, call out to all the people who accuse me of bias, because I don't understand how it's possible to be simultaneously a huge American fanboy. I got a lot of that for the EG match yesterday, and also shameless Chinese Dota loving, etc.
So the same game.
You can't be a fanboy of both teams in the same game, guys. It's not possible. One of you is wrong. Maybe both. Probably both. I don't know. That's the one thing that just annoys me, because I think what people don't understand is when you're trying to make a game exciting, like, there's only so much you can do based on the way the game's developing, right? Like, you can't be equally excited for both teams if the plays aren't equally exciting. So what happened in the EG series yesterday was when EG won game 2, it was actually kind of a back and forth game. It looked like Vici were just going to take it, and then it ended up turning, and Universe had some great chronos. In game number 1 and 3, it was like a strategic draft loss, just immediate outplay, really bad item decisions from EG, and the game was just over. Like, there's only so much you can build that up, but, you know, I was just hoping for good games. That's generally all I really hope for, so I'll tell y'all.
I think, like, when it comes to those kind of things, it's people it's hard, when they're fans, it's hard for them to divorce a team playing bad in a certain game and them just being bad. And when a caster is like criticizing a team for doing bad in a, they're talking about like they're all pros. Thanks for taking the time, and you know, this is a long interview, but you know, I think it was good. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Oh, of course, always with you, Ken. Thanks for having me.
Okay.